The second chapter is titled The Princess. Um, though born as a boy, in this chapter he first introduces to us, the readers, the idea that at a very young age he started behaving differently. So, the first instance which he recalls of such different behavior is the time that he spent at his grandmother's house, where his father's brothers and sisters also lived. So he used to go there, and he used to dance with girls' clothes. But when he was a young boy, a young child, this behavior was just treated as a joke, as childish behavior, and nobody paid any attention to it. Another pastime that he had when he was a child was watching TV at his Chittapa's house. Now, his Chittapa lived at the Artumantai street, uh, and he had the luxury of, he lived in a better off house. There was a TV there was electricity there. None of these were available at his own home in Bhupesh Nagar street. So he used to enjoy watching TV. So he and his sisters used to get permission from his father to go and watch TV. So he used to watch all the cinematic songs, the film songs, and he recalls that instead of identifying with the heroes, he used to identify the film's heroines. So after watching these songs, film songs, he used to imagine behaving like these leading ladies. So these film heroines were an early model for Sharvanan, and it was to these ladies that he looked up. Now, as recounted in the second chapter, his mother dies when he was 11 years old. So one day early morning, a young man comes into the house and informs the family that the mother died had an accident, and she passes away. So Sharvanan, the young boy who was treasured by his mother, is not able to accept this, and he is deeply traumatized by the death of his mother. But within a short time, his father remarries Chitti, and within a year, they have a daughter called Prabha. Now he says that as he grew older, his old ways were now of being dressing up like a girl, were now viewed with disfavor. Now, when people did not treat it as a childish prank or childish behavior, they started criticizing him for being effeminate and not being manly. So along with this, he describes the rest of his school years, rest of his childhood. When he was in 8th grade, his oldest sister Radha got married. So he changes school in the 9th grade. Earlier he had been going to Puttur Fatima Middle School. He starts going to Bishop Heber School. Now in school also, in his earlier school, he says that he always found deeper friendships with girls. He mingled with girls rather than boys. He played games that were girls' games rather than boys' games. So after he changes school, he goes there till the 10th grade, and he faces continuous harassment for his effeminate ways. So in spite of all this harassment, he kind of enjoys for a while. He faces harassment not just from the children, he also faces harassment from adults. So he uh, overcomes all this and he manages to get 84% marks for his 10th grade. So from 11th grade, he starts going to another school, another branch of the Bishop Heber School at Rockfort, Tiruchi. So in the new school also he faces constant ridicule because he behaves in an effeminate manner. So he gets frequently teased by his classmates. um, Derogatory names, he is frequently called derogatory names by his classmates. Everyone isolates him, so his studies also gradually get affected. So by this time, the second sister also gets married and he starts feeling lonely at the house. But now his only solace is his third half sister, Prabha. Uh, During this time, the family changes their house also. The place that they were staying in earlier, Bhupesh Nagar district, Bhupesh Nagar street, it was Poromboku land, that is land that is owned by the government but unoccupied, but this gets bought by somebody. So people in the Bhupesh Nagar street are forced to leave. So they move, they get allotted a new house after a lot of protests by the government. So they get a new house, they start constructing a new house at Uyakkondan Tirumalai. So till the house is constructed, they stay for rent at a place called Soma Rasampetai. So this is when he is in, by this time he is in 12th grade, and it is at Soma Rasampetai that he meets Ilango. And he says that when he goes to take bath every morning nearby the river, this is where he makes an acquaintance with Ilango, and he says that Ilango was sort of his first crush, the first man uh, who made me feel whole as a woman. So the chapter is titled Princess, and the chapter recalls the awakening of Sharavanan as a female. He understands that he identifies with women rather than men, and this is a feeling that was with him right from his childhood.